From the Bahamas.
Yeah, Nassau, Bahamas.
That's what made you want to get involved in this? In this
I was
life?
born into it.
Yeah.
My dad was a horse trainer, so I know I always wanted to be a trainer before I know myself. I love the horses.
Wow.
It's a passion.
Wow.
It's not a job.
Talk about the old time, right? The horse guys that was around back then. What made these guys so good?
Because they were dedicated. Like I just said, it's love and passion. You know, it wasn't a job for us because we didn't get paid to begin with. So, just something we love doing with animals, you know.
You know.
And it's a challenge to see. It's amazing the horses have personalities like people. So they just can't speak, so you have to be around them enough to learn their personality, you know, and you could tell the competitive ones from those who don't want to be racehorse, you know.
Who was the guy you looked up to coming up?
My dad,
Your dad. That was.
yeah, my dad was a horse trainer, was a good one,
Yeah.
you know, but
What's his name?
Thomas Demeritte,
Okay.
yeah, no, my dad, the thing about it is my family, they wanted me to get educated to go work in a bank or somewhere in the Bahamas, and I said, you know, I ain't wearing no necktie for nobody. I'm wearing a necktie for myself. So I always wanted to be a horse trainer. And my dad was a good trainer, and he had falls too, but we all had falls. At 4 o'clock in the morning, he come by to pick us up. We had to run out and get ready to get on the truck to get to the track, you know. I always tell people I didn't even know the days of the week. If you didn't get paid, it didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
But the love was there, you know, and I couldn't wait to finish high school to
It was
get
calling your
into it.
name, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I spent a lot of time, like summers, you know, most kids went Disney World or wherever they went during that time. But I went to Ocala uh, where I sort of learn the trade a little bit more than just in the Bahamas because in the Bahamas we British, so we had the British way of doing things, and I always know that I wanted to be very good at what I do. So I wanted to get a little knowledge from everyone I could get it from. It didn't matter, you know. Uh, I remember one time I said, okay, I'm a really young guy, and I had this horse I really love a lot. And he wasn't much, but a guy used to work around cavalry horses. He's very old then. He was in his 80s, named Woody. He said, Larry, anything you do for that nickel bread is too much, and you can never do enough for a good one.
Wow.
You know, and the guys back then had stories. They had you know, it was always they challenged one another. That's what I liked with it. To see who could be the best groom. No groom want to be on the end. If you on the end, you're not, you
That's what
know.
they
So
said.
everybody worked to be in them first two line of the barn, you
Everybody
know.
got the rub rags and
Yes,
they
yes,
and they
yes.
working on their horses.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's missing out the game now. You don't have that passion and that love for the horses like we did back then.
You know how you think we get that passion back? You think it's a new day?
Yeah, I don't know if that much love. The people don't love themselves hardly anymore than to love the horses. So I don't know if we ever could gain that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I told someone the other day we trade. Because back in the day they always talk about how the grooms drank and stuff. You know, but they took care of the horse. They rub horses. They rub the legs. I said we trade the drunks for the paycheck,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's
You know, talk about those guys. Give me some of the names of the guys that was around back then, whether it be in the Bahamas or people you met here in the States. I know a
so
long time.
many of them to remember. Like I talk about this one guy, Woodrow, you know, and then I had another good friend, work at Ocala till he retired. His name is, we call him Brother. And we had so much stories. There was a lot of storytelling back then, you know what I mean? But we all had secrets. But one good thing back then, if a groom go into the paddock and tell you they're going to win today, they was hard to beat. Because they know they sit up under. You know what amazed me is that back in the day that grooms, if they rubbing a $5,000 horse and the trainer took him away, that wasn't a good thing. He got mad and might quit on you.
Wow.
But now, today, a guy will give up a Derby horse. Doesn't matter. You know,
Man.
they'll leave a Derby horse and go somewhere else.
Man.
Yeah, the game is totally changed before our eyes.
And you know, a program like the Real Players, what do you think about this program?
I think it's a good program and it highlights back in the past because it's good you all doing this that people could remember what the game used to be like. You know, I know when training, all the trainers used to get together after work and go to the kitchen to have breakfast. Now trainers don't even associate with each other.
And they said when you wanted a job back in the day, everything happened at the kitchen.
Oh yeah, and you know you couldn't leave from one job and go to the other without the trainer uh, calling the trainer you coming from to
Wow.
see if you was worthy to be hired. You know, and like I always say now, it's becoming almost like a fast food deal uh, than a really gourmet kind of restaurant. Like you know, trainers like Woody Stevens, those who were top trainers, never trained more than 40 horse, never trained more than he could see.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not knocking anyone, but how could you say you train in a horse if it's in another state? I that's my take on it. You know, I don't think I want to train more horses than I could see a day. Like back in the day, we used to strive on see who could make the best leg paint, and now it's all poultice. You know, so that's just where we at, you know, and that's getting a thing of the past. And I think what happened too to the grooms back then that trainers with access to train people with coming into the game and pay them the same thing as the guy with the experience. It didn't make sense to me. It don't make sense now.
Yeah.
You know, uh, that was part of the problem.
Wow.
Why most of the guys leave the game.
Talk about how important is the people, right? That work on the backside every single day.
Oh,
That
very,
Yeah.
very important. No industry could run without. You know, I come to the conclusion in my business that I realize this is my gift, okay? But this is not everybody gifts. And like the Lord had spoke to me one time because I expect that passion like I have with my helps. And like the Lord tell me, hey, this you got the gift, but I just give you those people so you can carry out your gift. And it cost me to mellow out some, you know, because I was pretty tough on this is the way I want it and this is the way it has to be, you know.
That's why with the Real Players, you know, if you got that gift that you're talking about in any industry,
Yeah,
people need to be recognized with the gift.
yeah, because
Like
not
it's-
everybody has a gift. And one thing I know, if God bless you with a gift, He's going to make a way for you to make a living in that gift.
Mm.
He's not going to give you something you can't prosper with.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And I always encourage young people, find out what your talent, find out what your gift is. And if it's the horses, try get to know it the best you can, the best of your ability. So it will work for you, you know, that you'll be blessed in it. That's the key.
Wow, that's